natural hair that had never had a beautician's hand on it. If he knew nothing else, he could sense this just as surely as he could tell when to ease back on the throttle. Something you feel when it wants to leave the ground. Something you have to feel. You sense it just as surely and unmistakably as you do this kind of thing. It's something that rings true right then. It's fleeting, because that sensing of its wanting to take off is fleeting. The right second or fraction of a second. They said he was smooth as feel. Why, he could feel it, even with a rough crosswind he didn't know, and somehow that second would make itself felt somewhere in the sky over there. It would come, it would, if this war lasts just a few weeks more. Her eyes and lips, the way she wore lipstick. There was a touch that most women don't have, even in this bright light, and her litheness, her legs, even her hands. What was there about them with just a wedding band on one finger and nothing gaudy? The fingers were long, without polish on the nails. Look at the way she holds her cigarette. I knew that when I was standing over there, and her breasts with that low-cut dress. I felt myself get on my knees, God, and want to kiss her breasts, and have her touch my hair with her hands. I don't mean that way. I know that. It's something else. There is something in this world that fits together in one piece, because it was a quick decision, packing in less than 10 minutes, and catching a cab for the station and using Judd's ticket when 1,000 others are breathing down each other's necks for a berth on the Chief. Palm Springs was a good place to spend the leave, even if the room wasn't air-conditioned. I must have dreamed of death 3 times there, more than that. It was more than a dream, you don't admit, but I'm sure of myself with that feel. I know that maybe it wasn't just plain luck. That's expensive perfume. She's from one of the better families somewhere. You can tell. Another woman who had the top button of her dress open would look cheap standing in the station. But with these characters stealing over here with their eyes, a couple of goddamn civilians looking at her. No, you bastards. I didn't give her a light for what you're thinking. And he felt his mouth dry up inside as he knew he couldn't control his voice as he looked at the button of the dress again, and what he had noticed from the sandwich counter, that it was right for her, and a woman had to have a nobility and dignity that came from something else. There's someone attached to that ring somewhere. They must have grown up together, or their families, maybe. He's overseas. All aboard! The station master's voice shattered the loudspeaker. It's very kind, really it is, but I couldn't. I should have known better. About a reservation. I've never ridden a coach before, but it's only 36 hours. He flushed. The 2 in white suits were watching now as others hurried between, and the open space began to close, and the officer was pushed up close, almost touching, almost, and arching himself away and feeling her tan coat on his sleeve and her breath breathing the air close. And what she exhaled, he breathed and looked to the side of her and wanted to speak again, and tried, and she smiled with her eyes and said thank you very much again, and followed the red cap, who opened the way with his truck, and others deprived him of another look at Oliver, standing now among strangers who were more civilian than military, and his wings cried where his heart was, because these people didn't give a damn that he had dreamed of death, and knew even if he did have the feel that when that moment came, might be different. And her hair, he could almost reach over to another's shoulders, keeping pace by edging his way forward nervously, watching the 2 in white who were closer now, one with a grey tinge to his hair, but tanned with youth and something else. That laugh, and an easy way that knew how to talk to someone like her. Who was she? But I'll be a son of a bitch if I'll back down for a couple of civilians. She's not their kind. Somewhere, I've never lost my poise for a woman. I've known her. I know. She's mine. I'm sorry, ma'am. I am sorry. It's crowded. She laughed now. Her lazy laugh verged on sleepiness, and threw her head back, and her eye caught the winged officers, and he darted a glance at Curse, as another slapped him on the back from behind, and he turned, and above the din of the footsteps and loudness and Indian light, he turned to face the other, and heard his name Sextus called, and he blushed as she laughed, but it was his name, and feigned surprise took hold, and he turned his eye, seeing the 2 with white suits, the elder, grey-tinged, immaculate, smooth-profiled one, laugh with her, and remembered her car number, and let them go. Hating him. Let me work on it. I know the conductor on this run, but I meant it really when I said you could have our compartment. We'll work something out. I couldn't. But if the conductor has a cancellation, they said it was impossible. I had friends try. It's understandable. They should give the servicemen priority. They do. Jill McIntyre has a compartment next to ours. The actress? Yes. I believe your car's in the other direction. It's very kind of you to walk this far. Not at all. The station's crowded. At least join us for a drink later. It's 2 cars ahead of the diner. 8B. Let me come back and bring you up to dinner. I can't imagine you're riding in this coach with all of these. You shouldn't have become angry. One day you'll understand that I couldn't take that staff place when they offered it a month ago. You'll understand. There are only weeks, no more than months left. The train I rode to Allied headquarters. That day, so many things...